Hi, I'm Lou, the Garden Education Coordinator for Community Gardens of Tucson. I'm here today at the Mary Meredith Garden in the shade of this beautiful grapevine, here to talk to you about the why and the how of mulch. Mulch is any material spread over the soil surface to help conserve moisture, suppress weeds, and regulate soil temperature. Mulch can be organic, meaning that it comes from living things. Common examples include wood chips, straw, leaves, and other dried plant material. I really like to use the needles that fall from my mesquite tree each year, and I also collect dried plant material from around the garden to use as mulch. If you're collecting dried plant material, make sure that there's no Bermuda grass or other weeds in that mulch. And if you're going to be buying straw, make sure that that is certified weed-free. If there's any chance of your mulch containing Bermuda or other invasives, just toss it out. It's never worth introducing a weed that could take years and years to fully remove. At our Rincon Mountain Garden, some gardeners even grow cover crops that they cut down and use as mulch in the next season. This summer, the gardeners are using their oat straw to cover their communal growing areas. And right now, they're growing pearl millet, Sudan grass, cowpea, and alfalfa that can be used as mulch in the fall. Another option is living mulch. This is when you grow a plant that spreads across the soil surface, helping shade and protect the ground. For example, you might grow a cucumber vine beneath tomatoes or pole beans. The cucumber covers the soil while the other plants grow upward. People also use inorganic mulches such as shredded rubber or gravel, although these are not allowed in CGT gardens. These are almost impossible to remove, they don't enrich the soil, and they're going to reflect heat onto your plants. How to mulch is really easy. Simply pile it all over the bare soil. There are just 4 things to keep in mind. First, make sure you go all the way to the edge of your plot. You really want good coverage to keep the heat out. Second, the mulch should be at least 2 inches thick, but 3 to 4 is best. This is the biggest mulch mistake we see in the gardens. Mulch isn't nearly as effective if you just sprinkle a little bit on top. It may be adding some organic matter that breaks down over time, but it isn't going to suppress your weeds or keep the soil temperature down. Third, make sure all your plants have already sprouted and are taller than your mulch. Otherwise, the mulch is going to block out the sun and keep your plants from growing. And lastly, put the mulch over your drip irrigation. You don't want your water to have to drip through the mulch, creating a mildewy situation. That's a recipe for fungal problems. You want your moisture in the soil where the roots can get to it. But quick note on that, you also don't want to bury your irrigation line in the soil. That's a recipe for just getting your irrigation clogged up, and that causes all sorts of problems. It should be soil, irrigation line, then mulch.